What's up? What is up, guys? I'm gonna wait for people to join first. Can I change the brightness? I guess not. What's up? So I feel like I haven't periscoped in a while, so I'm just gonna do a quick periscope. Even crispy, I hope it is crispy. Just talking about the recent events. My last two videos were on the OnePlus 2 and the new Moto X's, but just all the Moto stuff, so we can talk about that stuff for a little bit before I go eat. What's up? So yeah, this is the OnePlus 2, and this is, I have a Moto, ooh, I opened the camera. I have a Moto G, the 2015 Moto G, and this is my no-backed OnePlus 2. We can talk all about it. What up? Which will we talk about first? The OnePlus or Moto stuff? There's no Moto 360. Yeah, there's probably going to be another Motorola event later this year. OnePlus, Moto, OnePlus, Moto. Wow, that's a pretty even split. Alright, we'll do Moto for 5 minutes, and then OnePlus for 5 minutes, and then just talk. Alright, Moto stuff, I'm interested in the Moto X. So this is the Moto G, and it's kind of like a reference for the Moto X. Like, all this metal-looking stuff on the sides, on the corners, it's not metal. It's metal on the Moto X, but on the Moto G here it's plastic. But it's the same general shape. You see this sloping stuff and that bar on the back. Something weird is going on with these cameras moving lower on the devices. I don't know if that's a thing that's going to be happening now, but my favorite thing about this Moto G, besides obviously the $179 price, is the fact that not only does the back come off, and it comes in black or white, but it's water resistant. This is one of the very, I don't know how many other phones have this, but a removable back, expandable storage, and water resistant. So props to Motorola for doing that. I actually have a clip of like the dude at the event dipping it underwater and still using it. So I like Moto G. Obviously I wouldn't use it as my main flagship, but it's a great value, and they are kind of the ones that started that whole great value under 200 bucks thing. So I'm not sure. Leave a heart if you want to see a full video review of the Moto G, like an entire video on it, because I didn't really do that. I did think a Moto G video 2 generations ago. I didn't do a review of the last one, and then I did. I included it in my favorite smartphones of 2015 under the budget category. Leave a heart if you want to. Yes, do it. If you want to see a review of the Moto G, skip it. Do it. Just do it. Just do it. Okay. Alright, I think the Periscope people seem to want to see it, so I'll keep that in mind. I keep clicking other things into place. But yeah, that's Moto stuff. Pretty simple. That's the second time I've accidentally opened the camera by twisting it. But there you go. Alright, OnePlus 2. So it feels a lot more well built after holding the Moto G. Real metal on the sides. I really like this switch. I've mentioned that. Yeah, 1080p display. So the thing is, when OnePlus sent this to me, it's really funny. I was not told anything about it. I was sent it, and they said test the camera. And when I got it, I was naturally like, this display, is this a 1080p display or a 1440p display? And I honestly couldn't tell until I took a screenshot and looked at the resolution. I set my wallpaper, and I was not holding it up next to any other phones, and just looking at it, I couldn't tell if it was a 1440p display or not. So maybe that's credit to the fact that you don't really need it. So anyway, hopefully battery life should be great on this phone. It's so far pretty good. I was just charging it today, and it took so long. A lot of people are talking about the fact that it doesn't have NFC. I think that is a bummer. And also the fact that there's no wireless charging and no quick charging. No quick charging isn't a big deal for me. No NFC, I think, if you're trying to be future-proof, will probably be a deal breaker for a lot of people on this phone. But the fingerprint reader is awesome. It's very fast. Someone keeps saying hi over and over again. That's how you get blocked. If they keep saying it, they're going to get blocked. So yeah, Moto X Style or S6 Edge. I really like my S6 Edge. My SIM card is still in my S6 Edge. I usually tweet when I move my SIM card from one daily driver device to the other. And it's been in the S6 Edge for like a couple weeks now. So far so good in the S6 Edge. I really like it. But Moto X style is definitely going to get my gonna get some use. Sam Sheffer sent some people here. Well, Sam, if you're here, hi Sam, and hi people who came from Sam Sheffer. If I guess he did a Periscope apartment tour. This is the same apartment. I've toured this apartment like years ago. It's the same apartment. Sam sent me. Okay, I guess Sam sent people here. What else do you want to talk about? I mean, there's the Moto stuff. There's the OnePlus stuff. Galaxy S6. Those are the 3 phones that are sitting right here on my desk. Those 3. So that's just easy to talk about. I feel like I haven't done a Periscope, so I wanted to talk about stuff. What else? How are you? I'm fine. How's the battery life? Of which one? Battery life on the Moto E or G is pretty good. It's a 720p display, so I'd expect it to be pretty good. Here's the other thing. That active display thing, so when the display is off, I'll wait for it to come up. When it sort of flashes your notifications, although I don't think I have any. That worked really well on the old Moto phones because they were AMOLED displays, so it would only have to light up those pixels in the middle. But they switched over to these LCD displays, but they still do that active display, so that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure if it's going to impact battery life. I may try to experiment and turn it on and off and see what happens. And battery life on the OnePlus 2 is pretty good. A lot of people got the impression it was bad because I compared it to the OnePlus One, but the OnePlus One literally had the best battery life of any phone I've ever used, alongside I think the Note 3. So don't take it as like it's bad because it doesn't measure up, but it's pretty good. Do you have the Moto? I do not have the Moto style. The Moto X style comes out in September, so I have to wait until the review units or whenever I can buy one in September. The last time I got to use one was at the event. That's why I did the video. I only brought the RX100 Mark IV to the event. I know a lot of you guys were wondering what camera I shot that video on. I didn't bring my Red or any high-end gear to that Motorola event. I just brought this. And when they told me it comes out in September, so get all your footage today, I got all my footage today for that day. So that's what happened there. What's your cheapest smartphone? Probably the Moto G. 6S. iPhone 6S? Yeah, that's coming. 6S. That sounds like... Isn't it weird how 6S sounds like success? Like the word success? Like when you achieve your goals? Success? Anyone? Just me? No? Okay, anyway. I don't have an iPhone 6S. When it comes out... See, now I can't stop thinking it. iPhone 6S. iPhone 6S. That's so weird. This is just striking me now. This is strange. iPhone 6S is coming out later, and it's probably going to look a lot like the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. I think there's going to be a Plus version as well. We'll see. Is the OnePlus 2 better than the OnePlus 1? Yes. That might be their slogan, 6S, success. Jesus, it's a tongue twister. No, it's not. It just sounds the same. Windows 10 impressions. Windows 10, you might see this ultra-wide back here. I've been using it on the main gear shift for a day. So far, so good. Very fast. I like having a start button again. That's nice. What program do you use to edit your videos? I use the Adobe suite. So mostly Adobe Premiere, and then maybe 20% of the time I'm in After Effects. You should patent that with the 6S thing. I don't know, maybe. Note 5, yes, so Note 5 is coming out later. We've seen all these renders of I guess, fan-made renders that look a lot like a bigger version of the Galaxy S6, a little bit wider, a little bit taller, which would seem to make it look like a Note 5. I mean, the Note 4 was a bigger version of the S5, so it's going to be bigger. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like or what the features or specs are yet, but I'm pretty pumped for Note 5. And I hope it's not razor thin and compromising on battery. I hope they keep it a little bit chunky. I like chunky. I like a little bit chunky in the phone when I'm concerned about battery life. That was almost a really weird sentence. I like the chunky. Touch ID versus OnePlus fingerprint. So I only use Touch ID for my iPad, and it's really good on the iPad, and I literally just... So the iPad has a physical button where when I want to open the iPad and log in, I press the button and keep holding my finger, and it just unlocks. So that's nice. And I'm glad the OnePlus 2 has the same feature. I actually turned it off recently, but I basically hold down my finger, it unlocks really quickly, and it's basically just as fast. I might do a comparison between a bunch of fingerprint readers. I know there's the HTC One M9 Plus that had a fingerprint reader. Maybe there's a couple other phones. Maybe I'll get them together and do a fingerprint reader shootout. I don't know. It's not that exciting, but it is pretty fast. They're both really good. Spotify or Apple Music? I use Spotify still. Actually, Spotify. Proof. iPhone 6 Plus versus OnePlus 2 video. I went to a whole video just comparing those two phones, but I'm on the 6 Plus. The 6 Plus is definitely a taller phone, but the OnePlus has the same size screen as it, so I really like the way the OnePlus 2 feels in the hand. It's a great size. It's big for a lot of people, but I have big hands. I've said that before. And it feels great in the pocket, and it's just a nice size. And the metal on the sides makes it really comfortable. So I really like this whole metal thing on the side of the phone. Galaxy S6 Plus. That's another thing that's going to be interesting to see. If it comes out at the same time as the Note 4, then I could expect the Galaxy S6 Plus to be really thin, and the Note 5 to be a little bit thicker and have more battery. And then also another thing that's coming up, I guess we're just talking about future phones now, that Nexus we're looking forward to for this second half of this year, maybe like September, October, seeing the new Nexus. And we keep seeing these rumors of Nexus 5 2015, where the Nexus 5 was a lot smaller. It was kind of like the size of, like a 5-ish inch display. That would be really nice. I would love to see a killer, just baller flagship with a big battery in the size of the Nexus 5. That would be sick. Yeah. So many hearts for Nexuses. Just 2 words, happy birthday. It's not my birthday. OnePlus 2 full review coming soon. I'm going to wait till I have a final review, a final piece of hardware before I start putting together my full review. And I'll probably put my SIM in it. This one doesn't have the SIM card tray in it, so I couldn't put my SIM in it if I wanted to. But when I get the final hardware, I'm going to put my SIM card in it and rock it for probably a week or 2 and start putting together my full review. LG G4 or Galaxy S6? They're so similar that if you're still undecisive, you probably won't be disappointed with either one. Where's Main Gear Shift Supercomputer Part 2? Good question. Now that there's Windows 10 on it, I'm going to start benchmarking it again, putting it up to the task, editing videos on it, and I'll be reaching out on Twitter to find out what games I should start to play on it and do a sort of a performance review. So now that it has Windows 10, we're testing that kind of stuff. Actual 4K on a phone, at what screen size does it actually matter? Well, there are no 4K displays on phones. I think the Galaxy S6 has the best display on any smartphone. It's a 5.1-inch Quad HD display, and it's an AMOLED display as well. It looks noticeably better than pretty much every other smartphone display. To the point that, I mean, I'm in a weird position where I switch phones a lot, but if I have the same wallpaper on one phone and I switch to the Galaxy S6 and I put the same wallpaper on it, it looks a lot better on this phone. Like, I appreciate the wallpaper more. It's that good. I don't know if that means that Quad HD makes it awesome. Obviously, it's AMOLED, so colors are more vibrant, but that display is killer. All right, maybe a couple more minutes, couple more questions, and then I'll get out of here. iMac for editing. iMac is great for editing. Are you going to make a Windows 10 video in the near future? It's funny, I've never really made a review on an OS. Every new Windows version, it comes out and I use it, but I don't review it. Every new Mac OS version, it comes out and I use it, but I don't review it. Windows 10 is the first one that I've actually decided like I might want to review the OS, which is interesting, but we'll see how that goes. Not sure yet. Do you game? A little bit, but most of my gaming is either done on my phone or on my console, which is probably making all the PC gamers like boiling in the head right now. I don't do a lot of PC gaming. I use a MacBook Air for editing. Not the best idea. You can get away with it if it's 1080p video and you're not doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff with effects. You can get away with that. NBA 2K16, it is coming soon. I'm pumped for that. Are you more of a hardware guy or a software guy? That's a hard question. I use both all the time. Depends on what I'm using. Okay, hashtag console master race, that's a terrible idea. I happen to use a console, but that's a terrible thing. Happy birthday, dude, who keeps saying it's your birthday. It's a Canon T3i. Oh, you guys saw that camera I tweeted that has a max ISO of 4 million, that new Canon camera? That's absurd. Just throwing that out there. I kind of want to see it in person. Maybe use one. But it's also $30,000, so probably won't do that. Cool, my socks are coming. I ordered socks online. Microsoft HoloLens? Yeah. Seems nice. Haven't used that either, though, so yeah. What else? A couple more things. Talk about your lenses. They're pretty awesome. Canon Cine Primes. Actually, I have one here. I love them. I'm also excited to. I mean, okay, the camera I use now, this guy, is the Red Epic Dragon, has a 6K sensor. It's nice, and it's an upgrade from the Scarlett I was using that can't shoot 4K on the whole, can't use the whole sensor for 4K. I don't know how technical I should get with you guys about this camera stuff. Maybe leave a heart if you want me to get really geeky, or maybe not. I don't know. But basically, the 8K version of the weapon that's coming out is a full-frame VistaVision size sensor. It's even bigger. So if you, I don't know if I'm going to get weird, but dumb it down. I'll try to make it somewhere in between. The Red Scarlett has a 5K sensor. If it's this big, it has a 5K sensor, but you can only shoot at 5K at like 15 frames per second. If I want to shoot 4K on the Red Scarlett, I need to use the 4K part of the 5K sensor. That crops in, and that zooms in a little bit. That means my wide-angle lenses aren't as wide, but that's the only way to get 30 frames per second. Then I got the Red Epic. It has more processing power. The Epic Dragon has a 6K sensor, and it has enough power to use the whole 6K sensor at 30 frames per second, or more if I wanted to. But that means I get a much wider field of view. My wide-angle lenses look wide. Still not as wide as full frame. It's a Super 35 sized sensor, so it's bigger than the Scarlett's at 4K, but it's not quite as big as full frame. And then finally, this 8K sensor, I can see the viewers dropping as I get super in-depth with this. The 8K sensor is a full frame VistaVision sensor, and it has enough processing power to use the entire thing at 30 frames per second. So all of these lenses, oh my god, it's falling. This 24mm and this 35mm and the 14mm will all get way wider on the 8K sensor. So I might have to get, I mean, the deepest telephoto I have now is a 50mm. I might want to pick up the 85. At the end of the day, I love the lenses, and I'm excited for 8K and the weapon and the lighter body and the forged carbon. I think I'm getting mine in like 2 weeks. Anyway, okay, hopefully I've geeked out a little bit too much today, but there you go, Periscope. That was a little bit of fun. I'm gonna go get some food because I'm hungry. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys in the next one. Peace. Thanks for coming.